Hey guys, what's up? DJ Man here, back here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my first review of a TV series of one particular show. You guys see me do like whole rants on a whole channel, but today I'm just going to do it on one particular show because one of my subscribers requested it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it because they requested it. I'm going to do it. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. And if you don't know, and the review and the show that I'm doing is Mickey Mouse 2013 TV series. So let's go ahead and jump on into it by first off by saying that if you don't know what this is, it's an American animated TV series created by, of course, Disney, which features your classic Disney characters, you know, like Mickey Mouse, Donald, Goofy, and so forth. And just FYI, if you didn't know, these are actual shorts. As in, they don't last your 11 minutes like a normal cartoon. They only last around 3.5 minutes, which I thought was very interesting, but it still worked for the show. And so what I went ahead and did is that I sat down and went ahead and watched 3 episodes of the show. And I'm going to go ahead and just do my little overlook of each one of them. And then I'm going to give you my overall thoughts of the show. So the first episode that I decided to watch was No Service. And what happens in this episode, it starts out with Mickey and Donald trying to get something to eat at Goofy's restaurant while they wait for Minnie and Daisy to show up. And of course, but Goofy, but to my surprise, Goofy ends up kicking them out of the restaurant because he has a no shoes, no service, no shirt, no shoes, no service sign. So he won't serve the people like that. So they get kicked out. And so Mickey and Donald both come up with the idea of one of them wears all the clothes to go get all the food. Donald ends up being the one that goes in with all the clothes on to get the food while Mickey is left there to in the nude. Of course, Donald ends up taking his sweet time just to make Mickey mad as he stands out there in the nude. But then, in the distance, Mickey notices that Minnie and Daisy are on their way coming towards him, and he's still nude, so he decides to try to hide himself. You know, he tries to hide himself by hiding in the bushes, in the trash, and etc. And of course, Donald, being his devious self, is just sitting there just laughing at him. And I just really like it because it has all these little visual gags as he's trying to hide himself. But of course, in the end, Donald ends up getting his just desserts because somehow Mickey ends up with all the clothes on and the food, while he's the one that ends up without any clothes. And so then, of course, Daisy comes up to him like, I'm so embarrassed to be seen with you right now. Doesn't want to be seen with him. So Mickey, Minnie, and Daisy end up going off and having a picnic with each other while Donald's just left there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next episode, which is Yodelberg. What happens in Yodelberg is that it starts out with Mickey, and I think he's living in Switzerland, and he hears Minnie is yodeling to him, and when she kind of tells him to come up and see her, but she lives on top of the mountain while he lives at the bottom of the mountain, so he has to make his way up to her. So he starts to yodel back to her, but then of course he almost starts an avalanche, so he decides he has to make his way up the mountain without making too much noise, or of course there'll be an avalanche. So the first obstacle that he comes across is that he ends up walking through this like group of trees, but for some reason they have cuckoo clocks on them. And then he turns to look and you can see the terror in his eyes as the cuckoo clocks are about to go off. And then they go off, but of course Mickey, being his smart self, finds a way to keep them quiet. The second thing he runs into is he runs into these guys that are just belching a little too loud, and they're about to start an avalanche. And the biggest guy is about to let out just this big belch. But of course, Mickey goes up, like catches his belch in like this little cup thing, and then he ends up shooting it off into the distance. And it's just hilarious because it's just the face he makes as he's like firing this thing off into the distance. It's just puts a smile on my face. And the third thing he ends up running into, because you know Mickey just can't get a break in this, is that he ends up running into a Yeti, aka the Abominable Snowman, and he ends up being chased all around the mountain by him. But of course, he's able to lose him by leading the Yeti off the cliff, and then he ends up at the top of the mountain, and everything seems okay. But then, of course, an avalanche still happens. But again, things still turn out okay because the snow just ends up falling off the mountain, and then it's just springtime kind of comes with grass grows and flower grows, and that's just the end of the episode. Okay, on to the third episode, which is called Croissant de Triomphe. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. I really hope I pronounced that right. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the review of this episode. What happens in this episode is that it starts out with Minnie is working at her little restaurant, I guess, and then she turns out that she's run out of croissants. So she calls up Mickey and tells him that he has to deliver some more bread to her, or croissants to her. And FYI, before I go on with explaining what happens in this episode, is that in this episode the episode takes place in Paris, and that they talk French the whole episode. Like, yeah, they speak French the whole episode. You know, I thought that was really cool that they did that, but But yeah, I just thought that was really something to mention real fast. So okay, so Mickey ends up jumping on his scooter to deliver the bread or the croissants. He ends up running into some traffic, so he decides to do like these little parkour moves and stuff to on by driving on top of rooftops and stuff to try to get around the traffic and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it cuts to Minnie trying. Then it cuts to Minnie back at a restaurant trying to run her restaurant, but all her customers want is our croissants. And so then it cuts back to Mickey being chased by the police because, of course, he's doing all these parkour moves and stuff. And he ends up getting away from the police by like making them slick on some pie, which was kind of funny. And then, wait a second. Okay, back to what I was saying is that okay, Mickey's sitting there driving along, then he ends up busting through this building where he runs into Cinderella and the Prince, and I thought that was kind of cool that they put that little thing in there. Hope they do that in other episodes, but I thought that was just something really cool to mention. So of course, at the end, he ends up getting there to Minnie and ends up being the big hero of the day, and that's the end of the episode. Okay, now to go ahead and give you my overall thoughts of the show. So right now, as the show stands, I have to say that I like that it kind of has this slapstick feel from like the older shorts in it, and which really works with this show. You know, most of the time when they bring a show back or reboot it or something like that, and they try to incorporate something from that older show and put it in new light, it doesn't really work that well. But with this show, it works extremely well. It's just great. And another thing I have to say is that I really love the art style to the show. It kind of like has that classic cartoon look with a new spin on it. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. And also, a little thing to mention is I also like the music in this too. And the main thing that I really love about it so far is the humor. It's just funny. It's just plain funny, like it's supposed to be, and it entertains you. And then just all the visual gags and stuff. It's just great. Now to go ahead and talk about the episodes themselves, like the actual stories in the episodes. And I would have to say that they're short and sweet. You know, they're just not too much, not too little. You know, just the right amount. You know, it puts a smile on my face, and I really did enjoy it. Do I recommend this show? Yes, I do. If you're a Mickey Mouse fan, you should definitely check this out. The shorts are only 3.5 minutes long, so it's not really a waste of your time to sit down and watch one of these episodes. You know, if you're feeling down or something like that, you know, if you're just mad over something a little petty or something like that, just sitting down watching one of these episodes will put a smile right on your face. The only sad thing, I think the sad thing about the show is that it's only going to have around 19 episodes. I'm not sure the 19 episodes are just for season 1 or if they're just doing 19 episodes and that's it. I really hope that's not the case. I hope they do make more episodes and all this and all that, just because I really do like it so much. Now, the only bad thing I can think of about this show is that I just don't like Mickey's voice that much. Maybe I'm just not used to hearing it or something like that. You know, maybe once I see a few more episodes, I'll be used to his voice. But right now, I don't really like it that much. All the other voices are just totally just fine. They're great. It's just Mickey's is the one that is kind of meh at the moment. It's meh. It's not really great. It's not that bad either. It's just meh. So again, this is DDG the Man. If you like me, go ahead and subscribe to me. If you like this video, like the video, and go ahead and if you feel like it, leave a comment down below on what you think of this show. And also please leave what are they called? Oh yeah, leave requests down below on other shows you want me to review or other things you want me to talk about. You know, just leave them down there, and I'm more than likely I'll do them. So again, this is DDG the Man, and I'll catch y'all next time.